Yeah, whenever you're ready.
Hold on, let's see. You guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
Hi everyone, my name's Sophia. This is Hallie, Avi, and Jared, and today we're here on behalf of Kornr Store, your neighborhood marketplace. So to jump right into the problem, the main issue is lack of access to life essentials in Detroit. So as you can see here, based on these statistics, Detroit is a city that is very food insecure. It has many food deserts, which means that they have limited to no access to healthy food alternatives. And there's also a severe lack of community engagement within Detroit due to the infrastructure of the city. So as you can see here on this graphic, the little blue dots are the places where there are grocery stores, and the large orange spaces are the food deserts. So in Detroit, you can see that there are many food deserts, which is a big issue because this means that citizens and locals in this area are not getting access to resources that everyone should have access to. So having a healthy, happy lifestyle should not be a right, but a privilege. So our solution to that, Brenda's solution to that, is Kornr Store, your neighborhood marketplace. And their vision is access, affordability, and convenience. At Kornr Store, you are able to buy healthy food alternatives that many other places in Detroit are not providing for their customers, while also giving their customers a community space where they can engage with one another and just feel more of a sense of community within the city of Detroit.
So not only does Kornr Store propose access, affordability, and convenience, but there's a lot of other capabilities that Kornr Store and its founder, Brenda, has to offer the Detroit community. So basically, Kornr Store's mission doesn't only require technical expertise, but it also requires community knowledge. And that's something that Kornr Store does possess that differentiates it from its competitors in other markets or other things in the market of Detroit. So the founder, Brenda, she is extremely well versed in the real estate development industry in Detroit with 17 years of experience. She is from Detroit and is very passionate about helping the city, and she's really connected with the people and the citizens of Detroit, as well as super well connected with valuable partners and resources that she can use to make this business a success, which definitely makes it stand out from other convenience stores that might be in the area. It's like a little delay. So this business works by doing well through doing good. So Kornr Store offers a mutually beneficial relationship with the community because not only does it hopefully expect to make a profit when it does open up, but also benefit the community and act as a centerpiece to provide that, uplifting spirit to the people in the neighboring areas. So this will work by just the direct sale of goods to customers who are individuals in marginalized and transitional communities around the Northwest Goldberg area, which is where it will be located, families and commuters and other health-conscious individuals. And with that, we do see a potential for about 10 to 15,000 in sales per month after it does open.
Yeah, so now going to the playing field of Kornr Store, we were able to have estimates for the TAM, the SAM, and the SOM, and you can see those numbers on the slide right there. And Kornr Store is obviously in the convenience store market, and as seen through this visual right here, it is growing, but it is the rate that it's growing at is very slow, and it's at a mere 5.5%. So these are some examples of what the target customer of Kornr Store would be. And these are all, and what you see next to that is strategies of how Kornr Store is going to put itself into the market. And these 3 bullet points right here are ideas on how Kornr Store is going to be able to, expand themselves. Yeah, so the sole employee of Kornr Store is Brenda Devine, and she has a lot of experience in real estate, which is helping her a lot with, organizing Kornr Store. But when we were talking to her, the one thing that she said that she needed was money. And obviously this money comes from investors. So we think her hiring an investor advisor would prove very crucial for her in the long run.
So here's some lessons that we learned along the way as we did this project.
The first is just how important customer discovery is. So as a convenience store, one of the first things that we were focused on when we talked about improving the business model was we were thinking a lot about the actual product line that Kornr Store is going to offer. And what we learned from customer discovery is that what people really wanted in that area was for us to focus more on the community aspect and making it a nice place that people want to spend time, not just a place where they can go and buy goods and services. We also learned about the impact that even small businesses can have on large cities, such as Detroit, and why a store like Kornr Store is so important. We also learned that community needs are the most important part of an entrepreneurial venture because as a business, our goal is to create value for the consumers. And in order to do that, we need to really understand what drives them, what motivates them, and what is going to make them want to come back. Okay, so into our recipe for success. I'll get into our proposals in a minute, but we believe that through a combination of technological innovation and an innovation to the business operation, we believe that there can be some significant additions to the business model, including improving customer relationships, increasing key activities, as well as creating new and additional revenue streams. And then, so again, it's pretty hard to set like a timetable for Kornr Store because they're not open yet and we don't have the exact time that they're going to be. But assuming that they were able to open in January of 2024, we are hoping by September of 2024 they can establish legitimate brand recognition throughout Detroit. Okay, so into our forward-focused mindset. So I'm going to talk about the three main improvements that we believe will help Kornr Store both improve their brand recognition as well as their profits. So the first is creating a loyalty program. We think that they should create some sort of app, offer people any sort of either membership or rewards program. This will just incentivize people, A, to come back to the store, but B, it'll also it'll get them in enough where hopefully that brand loyalty is able to increase over time. Next, we also think that Kornr Store should be leveraging its space. So part of what we were talking about earlier was that there's a lack of accessibility to a lot of things like fresh food, fresh produce in certain areas, but there's also a lack of space for communities to come together. So we think that Kornr Store can use their event space to do things like host birthday parties, host club meetings, have even potentially like community game nights. And we think this could help them increase their revenue while minimizing costs because they already own the space. And then lastly, we believe that Kornr Store can also be the source of some of their produce. So when we were researching other convenience store and grocery stores in Detroit, we basically found that a lot of them, in addition to partnering with farms and local farmers in the area, which Brenda is already anticipating that she will do. A lot of places also have their own setup, and we believe that this could help them get food at lower price and also keep people in the door. And then lastly, so our logic for these changes was almost completely driven through customer discovery. Competitors are beginning to integrate communal farms into business models, and which is part of why we believe that we can do the same thing. And overall, through those three suggestions, we believe we can improve the customer relationship, we can increase the key activities, and most importantly, increase revenue.
Great, thank you guys so much for listening. This was Kornr Store, your neighborhood marketplace. Thanks so much.
I'm just going to jump in with just an idea. Just as you like, more just a comment than a question. Just when you talk about like the event space, I was just thinking if you're going to, given the target demographics you're looking for this, I was just wondering some of the people may benefit from if you go down the path of doing some backyard growing. Couldn't you tie that to, hey, bring your kid and learn how to plant something, right? Like you can use that space to engage them, to like carve out a little space. I don't know if is the building already set up?
They're renovating it.
Okay.
So they have the space.
So they have the space, and if they want to do something like that, because ultimately it's the stickiness factor, and when you're starting up and you're trying to grab market share from other areas, despite the fact that you're putting it in a food desert, It's just an idea that you might want to come up with to think about the demographics, their needs, make it an educational opportunity, and create some stickiness with it. So anyway, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, just one other thought is, so you mentioned Brenda needing help with investment strategies and the like. I believe, what is it, the Michigan Economic Development Corporation? That there are lots of organizations where she could probably reach out and get some of that advice or be connected with individuals who would help her at a lower price point. And to your point about having parties and events, you think about all the other businesses in here as well who would love to have a pop-up event right in the back, and to have some, fruit or vegetables or, whatever snacky snacks they're selling. So just two additional thoughts. One question is, have you or has Brenda given thought to the timing of the fresh produce and other things she will sell, and then also sort of like how things expire? Because that's the one tough thing is, you get a bunch of raspberries and then one of them is rotten and then the rest go bad. So like, what type of safeguards has she thought about for that?
Yeah, that's probably a position that's going to have to be created once Kornr Store actually opens. So a lot of Brenda's real estate or experience is in real estate. So as far as like choosing the specific produce and whatnot, I think oftentimes it'll just come down to where she can get like the best deals and whatnot. But as far as what you're saying as being able to like monitor all of the produce and make sure that it's staying good and that it's affordable, it's probably going to have to be a position that's added down the line.
Okay.
I also think that something we would suggest that she does before opening is really, really research the market and the potential customers in the area to predict at least, or try to, what would be sold and what she can, get a lot of inventory on, and what might risk expiring and going to waste.
I think one of the things that's so interesting about what you proposed, when you said have a game night, I'm like, who hangs out at a grocery store for game night? But we've seen in Detroit, there are other strange examples. There's a laundromat that's combined with a coffee shop, for instance. And so I think it could work. But then as I'm picturing just from a marketing perspective, where that appears on Google searches, you're looking under grocery stores then, right? So I think it's sort of complicated, but it could work. It occurs to me that this client should talk to Fair Food Network, which has funding and also offers technical assistance to businesses that have healthy-ish kind of things. And so you've mentioned the customer's health conscious. Is the plan to have mostly healthy-ish kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Not convenience store, right?
Yeah, healthy foods and like a coffee bar and fresh produce. So more of like a grocery store as far as the options. And Brenda was also talking about wanting to have like prepackaged, ready-made food that's relatively healthy as well.
Yeah, I think that go talk to Fair Food Network instead. I don't think she should hire somebody else to help her raise money. I think she needs to hire a grocer, because if she doesn't have the experience in that industry, I think that's the first person that I think she can get the money by herself somewhere else.
Okay.
Yeah, the challenge with having investors is you never know what they're going to ask, and some of them will want more control over how things are operated, and sometimes it can be a good thing, but a lot of times that poses its own challenges. So to the extent you can raise your own money elsewhere, it's always a better route. Anyway.
All right. Thank you.